The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Brought to you by Nadex. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Tom and Tommy O'Brien.
Folks, we appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Right now, we have the Dow Industrials up 106. You get the Nasdaq flat. S&Ps are up 3.5. Gold contracts down to $6.80, trading at $13.18 an ounce. We have silver down 10 cents, $16.43 an ounce. Copper down 4.5 pennies at $3.09 a pound. Light sweet crude up 48 cents, $61.45. Had those numbers yesterday. Had some fluctuation, but laid out flat at the end of the day.
It ended up flat. It was down 70, 80 cents at one point from where it was before the EIA numbers, but spiked back to kind of within the range for sure.
Natural gas out here this morning. Notes and bonds. 10-year note up 1 tick, 120.18. 30-year bond up 4 at 145 even. King dollar up 198 ticks, 89.425. Euros at 123.36 to 1 U.S. dollar. Yen is out here at 105.95 to 1 U.S. dollar. And, they basically took this thing lower yesterday.
Yeah, we got some volatility in both ways this morning so far already, for sure. And then how about that volatility in Bitcoin as well? Under 8,000 last night. We're trading at 83.64 right now. I think we're as low as about 76.55. 7,600,
No, it was a good number.
6,000 might be...
I was looking at that this morning.
In the range to get retested
again. Look at
again.
that, 7,600, man.
Yeah.
Rejected it at this point.
It did. It was a quick spike, but we'll see.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
I'm
baby.
telling you. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Kevin Hinks at TD Ameritrade. And don't forget, folks, every trading day right here, 11 to 12 Eastern Standard Time, if you want to understand defined risk upside down, options, futures, bottom line, TD Ameritrade. They got a great program. Bring you through the strategies each and every day. A couple different ways you can get it. Just go to TFNN, hit Target TV, go to YouTube, pull up TFNN. Bottom line, you're off to the races. Kevin Hinks, what's going on?
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Tommy. The market is moving, trying to make a decision on which way it really wants to go. Does it want to correct or does it want to resume this rally?
No, there's no doubt. And when it's interesting, Kevin, if we look at, I was bringing up these yesterday, these large defense contractors, they're kind of down where the February 9th level was, so, like Boeing, 327, 317 is the number. So I think they're going to probably tell us quite a bit.
How about that Boeing stat I heard? They're going to do $1 trillion of business with China over the next 20 years. Trillion. Planes are not cheap, man.
No. And, one of the reasons that Boeing went down yesterday, it wasn't that their numbers were bad. It's that their supplier can't give them enough parts to make an additional 10 737s a month. That's that's a good problem to have.
Okay. I think part of it might have been that China deal.
Good problem to have. Yeah. Under capacity, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're seeing that bump up in some of these numbers. Like we had the Empire State number that came out at 7:30 this morning. And that's what you're seeing, Tom. These numbers are off the charts in terms of positive about the future economy, and capacity is starting to be an issue for some of these companies.
No, I was saying to Bridget last night, the help aspect, I've seen this like a couple other times in the last 30 years, that what happens if you're trying to get help right now, folks, there's people that will just blow you off because there's so many jobs out there. Okay. You know what I mean? There's a differential now that people can actually, say, see you later, I'm going to do this, or, it's pretty intriguing. And in fact, in the Journal today, it had 3 cities that the employment rate is like down to 2%.
Sure,
and
I'm sure.
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
About it, Tom, from a business perspective, and you run several small
businesses,
no one budgets for 150%.
Right.
Right? You never have enough people to cover 150% of volume.
Right.
So, and that's what you're seeing in some of these companies, and they just don't have the manpower to carry it. Now, they could do it short term with overtime and things like that, but eventually you're going to wear your employees down to a nub, and you've got to make some personnel decisions.
No doubt. And then, of course, as a different company has a better margin spread, they can pay more money.
Well, that's where the question comes, where's the wage growth, right? Because you guys are making tons of sense, but where's that wage growth?
It can't hide forever.
Right. No, we'll see, right?
Right. Well, in a couple of those cities, it had it, you know, because I forget which city it was, but it was a small city. The medium wage was $53,000 a year. It's like, wow.
Sure.
You know,
right.
So
was it Seattle or
no? This is they would. It was actually in Maine. It had to do with they were working at small stores too.
Nice.
This is you know, and that's the tourist area. I think it's Freeport, Maine.
Okay.
You know, they were showing guys in chocolate stores making $53,000 a year.
Not bad.
You know, but you know what? We know how expensive it is up there too. They're probably paying. It might not be like Boston.
Especially if you're in the tourist area, everything gets raised prices, right? For sure.
Wow. Hey, so what are we going to be talking about today, Kevin?
Well, as you know, we've been doing a strategy week.
Yes.
Monday we did spreads. Tuesday iron condors. Yesterday calendar spreads. Today we're going to double them up. Show the different graph structure and how you trade a double calendar, which is a calendar spread above the market and below the market. So, combining strategies is what we're doing today.
So is that a four-legged strategy?
Exactly right. It would have
4 legs.
Two short strikes and two long strikes down below.
All right.
Wow.
I better pay attention on that one.
That's for sure.
No, they are, because I love options, and that's where, I got to wrap my head around even myself, and these lessons are valuable.
Calendar spreads give you a way to trade long volatility, right? Long vega, but still keeping risk defined, still keeping positive theta in your account, and still trading at a fair probability. It depends on the strike price you choose in terms of your probability.
And of course, as you're going through the Thinkorswim platform, that'll give you those probabilities when you're setting them up.
Exactly right. We'll show you everything you need to know along the way.
Yeah.
Love it.
You got to, folks, if you haven't test-driven the Thinkorswim platform, TD Ameritrade, really easy to do. Just come over to our website, hit the banner, bring it up, and it's worth it. That's the bottom line. I mean, if you want a professional system and you're not paying for it, guess what? It's pretty cool.
Totally.
And I've seen...
And all this information, Tom, all this information and all this education embedded in the Thinkorswim platform for free.
Yeah.
Listen, it's amazing. It's,
love it.
And we've all seen the transformation over the last 20 years. Years ago, you'd pay a fortune for any part of it. Never mind the whole deal.
Sure.
They've done an amazing job putting it together. Pretty incredible. Folks, right here, 11 to 12 Eastern Standard Time. Just go over to TFNN, hit Target TV. We got a trader's market.
I was going to say, we got a good market for education, man, because things are moving. You can see what's happening. You got the VIX jumping around. Why not?
And that makes a huge difference. Oh, the movement, right, Kevin? The movement makes a difference. Yeah.
Absolutely. Straight up isn't good for anybody except fund managers, right? But traders, people trading on a daily basis, 2017 straight up was a difficult market. Here, you're getting more of a trader's market.
Right. And you can learn so much more so quickly. So quickly. You gotta love it. Have a great one, Kevin. Have a safe one. Look forward to the program. 45 minutes.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks. Have a great one. Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day, because we'll talk to you.
That's right.
Yeah, totally. Dow Industrials right now, a green, up 97. NASDAQ is flat. S&Ps are up 3. Tommy and I come right back. We need to get gold. We need that little leprechaun.
Tell it.
Where's that leprechaun?
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionics, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. We take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. We have the Dow Industrials up 82, Nasdaq's down 3, S&Ps are up 2.5. The leprechaun, man. Where's the leprechaun?
Where's the pot of gold, man?
Yeah, we got gold trading down $7.80, $13.17. Silver's down 15 cents, $16.38. Let's go over to that Nadex platform, take a look at the gold contract.
Yeah, so quite a little decline here. I mean, since about overnight session, call it 1:15 a.m., we're up above 13.28. We're down more than $10 from that level, even though gold is posting, you know, negative $7 for the session going back to yesterday to see that, and that is the data that came out at 8:30. No, we're going back to Tuesday. Okay, yeah. So there's Wednesday. That makes more sense.
So here, let's be this. I actually like what this is doing. So this is what it is. So this GCJ, what you're going to see here is that you're coming into the strength, and we've had 3 different downdrafts now this morning. So the strength that we're coming into, that was Monday, right?
And that's Tuesday. That's exactly Tuesday. Where I just was on Nadex.
That's Tuesday.
Right? And that's the 8:30. That's the 8:30. Was that CPI data? That was a retail. That was news announcement at 8:30.
Right. So watch. This is 26,000 contracts. We started out at 13.13. It goes up to 13.25.
And just so that was CPI data. Now I'm remembering, and that was the day Tillerson got fired later in the day. So that was.
So now watch. When I put this closer, what you're going to see is that you had 3 different downdrafts, but the biggest one, the low there was 13.19. So the way that I look at these markets is that we're going to go back to 13.19. The real question is going to be, do we have any power behind the move? So the 13.19 at 10,300 contracts. That was at say 8:30. Then you had a low of 13.17 with 9,500. Then we just tested that with only 6,200.
Okay.
So that's saying to me that, okay, now we have game to try to get up there. Now, where's that leprechaun? That's what we got to know.
Let's find out, man. It's March 15th, 2 days to St. Patty's Day, and St. Patty's Day falls on a Saturday. That leprechaun better be around. Totally.
we get an Irish weekend, man.
There we go. So it's Thursday.
Natural gas.
Natural gas inventories. It's just after 10:20 a.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, Thursdays, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we get the natural gas EIA numbers every week. So let's jump into the contract first. We're looking at the April contract. We're trading just above 272 right now, 272.29. I jumped into the spreads on natural gas and start off with the 11 a.m.s. So let's look at maybe setting up a volatility trade, right?
Okay.
Looking at a spread trade on each side with profit potential to the upside, profit potential to the downside.
Right. We just want volatility.
Exactly. So initially I'm seeing in the 11 a.m.s, we're going to have spreads that go from 275 to 295 with 275 to 255. So right away you're going to have a slight bearish bias in here because your intrinsic value is going to be on the bearish side since we're under 275. So this would be your bearish spread. You could be selling this one. That would cost you $31. And of that 31, though, you have about $27 of intrinsic value in here because you're 2.7 pennies under 275. And then on the bullish side, it's all going to be premium because you're 2.5 pennies out, and that's where you can see similar amount of premium. The only difference being you have a decent amount of intrinsic value to the bearish side. So there's your 11 a.m.s. We like to jump around. Let's see how the 12s line up. 12s are going to have the same exact spreads, just an extra hour, right? So you got 275 to 295. And this is a nice comparison. So you can see here, here's the spread side by side. Here's your 11 a.m., here's your 12, here's the price differential. This is going to cost you $7 as opposed to $5.
Right.
So you're literally paying $2 for that hour. It's very quantifiable when that's the only variable that changed in there is the extra hour, right?
Yes.
And on the same thing on the bearish spread now, you're still going to have the same amount of intrinsic value. And again, in comparison, here are the two, and you can see they're $1 off. So you're actually just paying $1 on the bearish spread for that extra hour. So when you combine them, you're paying $39 for the noon trade.
Yeah.
Or you would be paying approximately $36 for the 11 a.m. trade, right? Each of these having a bearish bias in that you have about, all your intrinsic value to the negative side. So if you want to talk about your break even, right? Your break even is away from 275 and you're looking for about 3.6 pennies away in either direction, but you have quite a head start to the downside, right? Now, what if you're a little bit bullish bias and you're like, that's a little tough. I'm looking for maybe a pop, but I want direction on both sides. Well, we jumped into the dailies, for instance. So the dailies, now these are a little different in that they have 40 cents of movement as opposed to the 20 cents that these spreads contain. But they start at 270. Okay, so that's going to change things up decently in that you're going to bullish side. You're going to have intrinsic value on the positive spread, right, to the bullish. So here's your 270 to 310. You could be buying this spread. Now again, you're 2.5 pennies in the money, intrinsic value, and then you're going to add some premium because they go till 230 as well. And then this is going to be your bearish spread from 270 down 40 cents to 30. So this time, all your intrinsic value is on the bullish spread. That's going to be costing you $34. You're going to be paying just premium on the negative spread. So this is costing you about $42. So we went from about 36 on the 11 a.m., about 39 in the noon. This one's being 42. Difference being, this one has till 2:30, and you have 40 cents if you really got to move. Now, 40 cents in one day on natural gas is like almost out of the question. But
but you have a couple cents in intrinsic value on this too.
To the bullish side.
Yes.
You have intrinsic value in the other ones too, just to the bearish side.
I understand, but I'm saying you don't need the whole 40 cents move to come in the money.
Oh, no, for sure, for sure. I mean, you have, so right now we're trading 2.7 pennies. We're trading 270, 273. And this spread, anything on the bullish side above 270, you have value. So, for instance, if you had bought this and then you go to sell it immediately, you're getting back $32 immediately. Right. And you're only putting up $44 now combined, so you need 4.4 pennies away from 270 in either direction becomes your break even for that trade. And yeah, as you said, you have quite a head start to the positive side. Be a little bit easier to break even if you get a pop to the bullish side, but you still have both trades. You could execute, you could sell out one. you know, and leave the other one to go. And we have, it's just after 10:25. We have 4.5 minutes till that news breaks. And we've seen some volatility in this contract for sure, even pulling it back a little bit. You know, this is going back Wednesday overnight. This is Wednesday full day. We were just up at 280. We were just down at 271, even in, you know, a few hours ago. As of 8 a.m. this morning, we're up at 275 this morning. So
let me pull up. Let's see where we're at here. So natural gas. Where are you? Let's see.
Right in the middle there.
So now this will be a delayed quote, but I'm just
sure. And it's kind of been hanging at that level for the last 10, 15 minutes, so it's a similar 272.3.
Okay, so you back down. Okay, right there, 270. Oh, that's interesting. So you back down with light volume. You know, it looks to me like this thing's going to stay in this range. And where I'm going, you can see that day right there. What's at the first? The top of the first is 273. You know, with contract value 200,000. Yesterday you come down with 146. It's like, I don't see a lot of movement out here.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to know.
We laid out the trades. Yeah. Everybody has their market bias. In 3 minutes, we'll be back, and we'll get those EIA numbers, and we'll see how natural gas reacts.
I love it. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I are coming right back. Dow Industrials are up 81. Nasdaq's down 3. S&Ps are up 2.5. We're coming right back.
Would you like exposure to the foreign currency markets without any downside risk to your principal? Then consider the Petro Currencies Market Safe CD from Everbank. This 3-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD leverages the performance of 4 equally weighted currencies from these top oil-producing countries: Brazil, Canada, Mexico, and Russia. This CD features a 200% leverage factor, which means that your potential upside payment will be double the currency's average performance at maturity with no cap if the currencies increase in value over the CD's term. And if the returns are negative, your principal's 100% protected. Returns are based on CD performance with no correlation to the price of oil, and there is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. The April 19th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a division of TIAA FSB, member FDIC. Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
welcome back, folks. EIA, natural gas stockpiles fell 93 BCF. I think that's what they were looking for.
And they were looking for 98.
98,
yeah,
okay.
And that's a Bloomberg user survey. At least that's one number. You got the median estimate, median analyst estimate. So the stockpiles fell 93 BCFs last week. Gas inventories fell to 1.53 trillion cubic feet. And let's jump back over to the Nadex platform, see how that market is reacting.
Whoa, look at that.
There we go.
That's a move.
So you can see when we talk about the bullish and the bearish bias, right?
Yeah.
If you had been in the 270 trades with the bullish bias, where you had a head start to the positive side, you're almost back to your max loss.
Right.
Right? Because 270 is where you would be looking for volatility in either direction.
Yeah.
But if to pull this back up on either of the 11 AMs or the 12s, let's just jump into the 12s, that would be where 275 would have been. That would have been our bullish spread, which is now far out of the money as this is tanked. And this would be your bearish spread, which would now be deep in the money. You would have been selling the bearish spread.
Yeah.
You would have been buying the bullish spread. So if you wanted to close this out, you could buy this back.
That'd be some bread.
Well, you had 47.
Right.
But that trade was costing us about 39.
Right.
So, you know, that at least you're locking in, and percentage-wise, it's a nice profit for sure. Because like we talk about many times, the first move is not always the move that sustains. It seems like it's sustaining right now, that's for sure. These are 5-minute bars. You can see the time in the corner. We're barely 2 minutes after the news has been announced, and we're down about, call it 3.5, almost 4 pennies from when that news was announced. All your value, if you were trading the 11s or the 12s, which would have been using the 275 price point as your pivot point in either direction, your value would be to the negative side. And right now, as this continues to kind of drop a little bit, you'd have $52 of value on the negative spread. And something to consider, you know, let's say that the news wasn't quite what you thought would send it this low, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you take your money off the table, and, you know, the bullish spread still remains intact until 12 o'clock. And we've seen turnarounds there.
Right.
For sure. And so, you know, depending on your market bias, what you think the expectation is, what you think is going to happen after that news comes out. But, man, there's volatility still to come in this market as we see it, and it'll oscillate.
There certainly is.
We'll check back in on it in the hour.
And what's intriguing about the natural gas market is that, you know, we're coming into spring.
Yes.
We know that the Northeast had a bad, you know, couple weeks. That's
They've had 3 storms in 2 weeks
January
to start
9th.
off March.
Exactly.
No,
Right.
January. Since, I think, March.
Yeah, 3 from the end.
Literally, it's March 15th. They've had 3 nor'easters that have come in there in the last 15, 16 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, the weather is changing. We're coming into the spring across the country. See how that shapes the natural gas market. All right, we'll check back in on it. Currently trading 269.47.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring up. I just want to see what this. Oh, it won't give me that right now until because it's delayed.
What were you looking for, volume?
I wanted to see how it was coming into it.
Sure.
So let's go over the gold contract. So that little leprechaun. See what we're doing with this leprechaun out here. So we got a low out here of 13.16. We take a look at this. We just had a little tiny movement. Let me see if we got any action here.
Yeah, it's kind of just been hanging.
Yeah,
out,
it needs a bid. You know, I mean, we got off the 13.16, but thus far it hasn't got a bid. Doesn't mean it won't, but thus far it hasn't. And if we go into some of the higher volume equities, just in the broad market out here today, Micron Tech's down 60 cents. You got, let's see, Apple's up $1.15. Intel's down 17. No big movement, man.
How about Twitter? Can we jump to them? They had a big day yesterday, so they revealed that they might be flocking to a bit more of a video integration, trying to compete with Snapchat. Check out that move yesterday. I mean, you're talking about, you know, it closed the previous day at, where's the previous day's close even? Yeah, so 34.11, and then it goes all the way up yesterday to 36.80. You're talking about a $2.70 move on a $34 stock. And I'm sure there was more to play than just that, but they were talking about that video, first-person video type, where Snapchat, that's kind of what their shtick is, you know, where you're taking your videos, sharing them, your feed, that Twitter might start trying to adapt more video versus just the keys and entries to, I mean, I think
that makes sense.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think they realize, the future of the world isn't going to be however many characters.
No.
It's going to be live
video.
integration video,
right.
Seamless integration where you're just opening up your phone, sharing what you're saying versus typing. So that's what they, and I don't want to say it too sarcastically, but good luck to them, as in that's easier said than done, right? You can't just integrate it and then compete with Snapchat. Facebook has tried that. Snapchat's still doing very well.
It's a different market.
Yeah, it is, and they have their brands. And
right.
I don't think Twitter is as cool with the kids these days.
I agree.
So they have a little bit of a battle in terms of even, you can recreate the technology, but Snapchat has quite a hold on that younger demographic, that type of...
Because if you're on Snapchat, right, and let's say you're on both of them, but, these young kids are all on Snapchat, so it's like, hey, change, I want you to go to on Twitter, because I want to talk to you on Twitter. Well, really? I don't want to...
I think they'd laugh them off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
I don't want to talk right now. I'm talking to my friends on Snapchat.
I agree. But Twitter got a big boost, so investors were saying we'll give them a shot at least.
And if we take a look at it, it looks like Twitter just finished a monster ABC up. If you take 35,
quite a run, right?
Yeah, it's good. The bottom line is that here, if I bring this back, you're going to see took out the swing point, took it out with volume, and that's what's nice on a weekly. I mean, that's a cleaner one. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Your A point is approximately 15.70. Your B was 25.85, so like $10. C's 22, that's like 32, and you're 35. It's
sure.
And it has the volume, so I suspect you're going to build some more cars. But I think if we've learned anything, those social platforms are going to just keep getting bigger.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they're around to stay. But, I mean, talk about highly competitive, and users can be finicky, as we see with Facebook. I mean, the full generational, as in the rise, and they haven't fallen, but they aren't growing as much, and the user experience isn't the same, and so even the Goliath of the room is facing some troubles with trying to make sure that they're providing the environment that people enjoy, and etc. The whole
and so what's also happening now. Now we run into this because when I sell advertising, folks. Okay, this has been happening forever, and it's always driven me crazy. And it has to do with the aspect of what companies say they have on their platform versus what it really is, and the technology behind these companies now. There was a great article Monday in the Journal, and what it has to do with is let's say that you're a Procter & Gamble now, right? There's a couple companies out there now that are specifically showing the Procter & Gambles of the world that you're paying out the nose for something that you thought you were getting and you're not getting.
Sure, no. They call them impressions, and then you'll always have the stories where it's 1 pixel somehow in the that you're paying for impression. Or
yes, that's on the table. The big part that's on the table now is that all these stars that have so many followers.
Yes,
they're showing. This company's showing that 20, sometimes 30% of that are just a bot, and it's not a person.
Fake followers. Sure. Yeah. No, there are good articles about that.
And you're paying big money for it.
Sure, right. And you pay
now that helps us.
Sure.
Basically that's but that's going to be a challenge. But
definitely.
I'm sure they'll figure it out. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I are coming right back. Dow's up 75, Nasdaq's down 2, S&P's up 1.5. Come right back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Dow right now is up 82, Nasdaq's down 3, S&Ps are up 1.5. Let's go to our man Paul in Henderson, Nevada, and we're talking cryptocurrencies. Paul, what's going on, brother?
What's happening, gentlemen? Good morning, guys.
Morning, Paul.
How you doing, man? Have you been up late last night?
Late, early, one of the two?
Well, man, I had to, thank you for showing me those spreads because I had to go short on the Bitcoin to kind of hedge my long-term holdings here in some of these cryptos.
That's so cool,
and
man.
it worked out really nice. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate it a lot, man.
That's awesome, man.
That's a big deal, man. And then it's pretty cool.
It's cool. I was able to talk to Tommy offline a couple Fridays ago, and he got me a little bit more straightened out on how to look at these things. And I did some more research that weekend, and I'm like, okay, I see how this is working here a little bit. So I really like that Nadex platform.
Yeah,
awesome, man.
It's great. Listen, when you're a long-term holder of them, it's a great way to hedge it, from basically Monday morning, 8 o'clock till Friday.
And then,
it's a huge deal.
And Paul's trading Bitcoin, no matter what you're talking about, it is too.
Yeah,
but especially the Bitcoin where there's very few arenas in a regulated environment to be able to trade on both sides. For
exactly.
Sure.
So, what are we doing now?
Well, I was wondering if Tommy could pull up that website. I wanted to show you guys something, the crypto.
I'm already there. Where are we going?
Okay. Can we pull up Ethereum, and let's pull up the GDAX. So if you look at Ethereum, it will have underneath it will say GDAX. Yeah. And let's pull that up on a daily chart, and I want to show you guys something. So this thing is already back into its low.
Okay.
And
perfect.
What's interesting about this, if this breaks, so Bitcoin hasn't gotten to the low yet, but if ETH or Ethereum breaks the low, all of the dApps, the decentralized applications, almost all of them are built on the Ethereum platform. So all these altcoins that are coming out and things like that, they're all built on top of Ethereum. So if this cracks, I think that it's major problems coming to the crypto space in the next couple days, maybe weeks, and it could get really nasty. The last time Ethereum had some significant volume, when I pulled it back, it was around $185.
I see. So what you're saying is that this level here, Ethereum has been lower, but
lately this has been the support area.
And then we're approaching that February 5th, right, Paul? Is that what you're looking at? The kind of the 555 low that we had there? That's what I have highlighted on the chart, right? And that's what he's talking about. I mean, that correlates to the 6,000 low in Bitcoin.
I see.
That's
cool.
Exactly.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome, man.
I think, yeah, it's really close to break. I mean, I'm expecting probably a little bounce right here, but it already broke below the 200, and the volume is not as good, that's for sure. So, Tom, I was wondering if you can take a look at it. So when you look at price and volume here, it cruised back into it. How would you analyze this?
So while you think about that, I was just going to say, well, what was interesting, right, Paul, just from a fundamental perspective is kind of the, and I don't want to call it hysteria, but over that time, as all the cryptocurrencies for the first time in a long time were crashing, it was all over the news, it was everything, whereas you haven't heard it as much this time. You know, really, if you think about Bitcoin's, it was just under 8,000.
That's because people have lost so much money.
That's, where it's kind of becoming normal, whereas at that time, and maybe that helps explain a little bit of the volume, Paul, where panic was in the streets, as in, well, geez, who says we can't go to 1,000 at Bitcoin if we just went from 20,000 to 6,000?
Sure. You know what's cool, Paul, is that you can almost look at this, you can take Bitcoin as the broad market, right? And you could take these other coins as sectors inside the market. So it's pretty cool. I like what you're doing looking at this, because if this does break, your probability is pretty good.
Yeah, and Paul, you probably understand it better than I, but it's the smart contracts that Ethereum allows that you can build on, and that's where you can have an ICO, the altcoins, and so and that's part of the reason why Ethereum took off so much, because of the functionality versus just Bitcoin that doesn't have that functionality built into it, versus just kind of the store of, call it wealth, call it whatever you want to call it, versus the functionality that Ethereum allows to play into
The other thing is, real quick, guys, a lot of the traders that trade the type of stocks I like to trade during the day, a lot of the Momo stocks, Kraken now is back up and running, and they allow you to short. So a lot of these guys are hammering. I mean, they are going in deep, especially on the Ethereum. I'm sure they're covering right here, right now, but I think they're going to be looking for another opportunity to hammer this thing down again.
So this Kraken, that's another exchange?
Yeah.
Another platform,
it's
right?
It's one of those Wild West exchanges. I don't trade on it because I'm pretty leery of it.
Because you want to get your money back.
So it's interesting is when I click on the Kraken one for Ethereum, I believe it's giving me prices though in euros. Is that how that works? Maybe that's just a functionality of the chart. But you can see when I'm clicking on the Kraken, I think it's Ethereum euro that it's being priced in, which is why it's telling me it's at 502 instead of the 6 versus in the lows showing 466 versus the low being like 555 in dollars, I believe. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, any type of ability to short, and that's kind of what happened on the highs of Bitcoin. You introduced the CME with the ability to short, and guess what? That's been the high, and we're a far cry where we're 50% down from where we were currently. Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll keep our eye on that February 5th now, especially in Ethereum as well, Paul, because you're right. I mean, if Ethereum, which does have more functionality than Bitcoin, starts going below that level, maybe that's a better indicator for the market in terms of if Bitcoin was.
No, totally. Yeah, I just want to bring Bloomberg up for a second because I want to show you something, Paul. This is I just saw this come across the tape, and this is pretty impressive. Let's see. Let me go to XBT and see if it's under this news. So Tom Lee is an analyst. He's been with, here he is right here. Okay, so Bitcoin, I want to see if this guy, Bitcoin bull Tom Lee sees more pain ahead before price recovery. Let me just see this. Bitcoin, let me see. I want to make sure it's the same Tom Lee. So if this is the same Tom Lee.
Is it Fundstrat Global Advisors? That's what they're saying.
Okay, we'll have to pull this up. But this guy, he worked for J.P. Morgan forever. He went out on his own, and the guy's a really smart guy. I mean, that's my point. You know what I mean? It's like you seem to have more people that have been big or are big in the business. They're getting behind Bitcoin.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So it's. I'll pull that up afterwards to see if this is the same guy.
And that's, so at least in this article, they're saying that it will only show signs of bottoming closer to 58.73. Not sure where they pull that number out of, but according to them. Yeah.
That was the previous low in Bitcoin at around 5,800.
Yeah.
And then
I thought your analysis with Amazon the other day, Tom, was really interesting, that these things could crash perhaps 90%. but still not be over whatsoever. I mean,
right.
No, and that's what they're all such arbitrary values. I mean, Bitcoin was just at $200 not that long ago. So if it was at $1,500, maybe that's a sign for long-term success. I don't, I mean, it is amazing when it becomes.
What I did yesterday on the air, Amazon in 1999 was $110, and then it went down to $9.
Oh, okay.
It crashed 90%.
Sure.
So it was like that, because I had remembered that. I said, you know what, Bitcoin can crash 90% and still can rule the world.
Sure. And that's why I keep bringing up they're only arbitrary numbers. I mean, it's so arbitrary. Yeah. It is. It's what is, it's at 6,000. It's at 20,000. It's at 11,000.
Wouldn't it be nice to buy some Bitcoins at $500?
Oh man.
I might get the opportunity. We'll see.
Cooking, brother.
Yeah, we'll see. All right.
Thanks, Paul.
Have a great one.
Have a great one, man.
Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I coming right back. Dow's up 89. Nasdaq's down 2. S&Ps are up 2. Come right back.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
You don't buy into that nonsense, do you? You know you can't time the markets. I didn't. And in 2006, I set out on a mission to do just that. I began by surrounding myself with the greats like Tom O'Brien, Larry Pesavento, David White, and Basil Chapman. I read countless books and even looked to the moon and planets for answers. Now, we both know that trading is 80% mental. So I learned the exact tools that Tony Robbins uses to overcome fear. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability. And last March, the folks at Timers Digest began tracking my newsletter signals, which through January 18, 2018, placed me as the #1 gold timer for that exact time frame. Now, I can't officially be recognized until Timers Digest has a full year of signals, but clearly I've learned how to time the markets, and I'd like to teach you how to do that as well. Subscribers to Mastering Probability gain access to my live and archive workshops where I show you the exact same patterns that earned me this #1 ranking. If you're looking for great market calls and an education, sign up for Mastering Probability today at TFNN.com.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Learn how to trade options with swim lessons. Brought to you by TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. And if we take a look at the market, Dow's kind of hanging up there, up 92. Nasdaq is down 1. S&P's up 3. Natural gas.
Let's check back in on natural gas. So it's 10:54. We've had about 25 minutes since those news numbers, and we continue to decline. So currently trading 268.17. We were up at just about 273 when those news numbers broke, so down about 5 pennies.
That's a big move.
It is a big move, and it's a big move, especially within the first 25 minutes of that number. And so to jump back to, we looked at maybe the 11s, the 12 o'clock spreads that expire at that time.
Yes.
Those were the ones at 275 would have been your price point. You were looking for volatility. All your value would obviously be to the negative side. And right now, you're looking at about $66 of value in there because it's 6.6 pennies away from 275.
And that's the noon.
And that's the noon. That one would have cost us about $39 for both contracts. But I wanted to just highlight real quickly, if we jump into the daily ones, right? Now, the daily ones were the ones that were using 270.
Yes.
So that's where we would have started with almost 2.5 to 3 pennies of intrinsic value to the positive side. And even these now we're below. We're almost 2 pennies below. So jumping to the bearish 270 spread that goes all the way down to 230, we're approaching now even there. We have about $23 of value. So you can see how, when you're making those volatility trades, yes, you're starting with a bullish or bearish bias. But there's a reason why you're still executing both of them if that's kind of your bias in the market in terms of looking for volatility in either direction with a bullish or bearish bias potentially in one way or the other. And we'll see where this goes. You still have both of these spreads remain open, and this one was costing us, I believe, $53, right? Somewhere around $50 for both contracts. So even there, you're looking at basically a 50% loss currently, but with 3.5 hours left to go in the day. We'll see. We'll see, for sure.
Stay right there, folks. We got swim lessons coming up next, and then, of course, we got our man, Mr. Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White. I'll be back. Andy Heck. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, man.
Wow! Go get him, folks.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.